Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the We Know the Traitors podcast over here on RHAP. I'm your host, the Duke of Deception, Pooya Vakili, here with the Purple Pants Prince, as I'm going to call him henceforth. Of course, the main host of the Purple Pants podcast over here on RHAP, the one and only, the baby boy. It's Brice. Brice, how you doing?
Pooya, I'm excited. Do you know this is the first time you've ever reached out? You've ever called, you've ever texted, you've ever said my name in this correct order for me to be on a podcast with you?
Well, Brice, did you know that I am now one up on you because I've invited you once, you've invited me 0 times, Brice? What is this?
Well, listen, we don't got to get into the semantics, Pooya, okay? I'm telling you how I feel, period. So, no, I am wonderful. I'm excited. All they had to say was Pooya. I said yes. I didn't know what we were doing. And then I found out what we were doing. And I said, oh, I can help you out with this a lot.
I am so excited. I feel like this has been a collaboration in the making for a while now. And to finally be able to get together and talk on a podcast, number one, great. Number two, I couldn't ask for a better person to hold my hand and guide me through learning about a whole new person in my universe as we see Robyn Dixon making her way over to the Traitors Manor. Brice, you have been selected as the expert here to lead the way and to teach us about all things Robyn.
Yes. We love Robyn Dixon over here, a former Real Housewives of Potomac, a podcast host in her own right. She hosts
Okay.
a former NBA wife. There's just so much we can get into Robyn. So what would you like to know? Where should I start?
Whew, okay, there's a lot. So let's start with I want to say and actually, I can't go any further before I know who was she an NBA wife to?
So she was married, divorced, and remarried to former NBA player Juan Dixon. He played for the Wizards.
Okay.
He then went on to coach Coppin State University, and he is a basketball coach. And so, yeah, we like Juan. Juan is an interesting guy. That he cheated on Robyn back in the day. They got
Uh-oh.
back together. Then there was some more scandals going on. And so Juan was a bit of a problem for Robyn on the Housewives. But nevertheless, Robyn is loyal, right? Robyn and Juan, they got a divorce. They have 2 children, Corey and Carter. Even though they got a divorce, even though she was living high off of the NBA money, they went bankrupt. They had a
Wow.
business partner that embezzled all of their money and then took his own life. And so they went from it get deep. They went from NBA money balling to like essentially living back with her parents. And they were divorced. But for the sake of the kids, Robyn's like they had a one-parent household. So I bring
Okay.
that up because Robyn is loyal, like
Mhm.
very loyal. And I think that trait will bold her well on the Traitors. I think that I think she could be a good traitor, but I also think that she could be a good, is it loyalist? What's the other people?
Faithful?
Faithful, because she for sure is faithful. And Robyn is on the Housewives. She just recently they did not renew her contract. She was on for 8 seasons. She had a best friend on there named Giselle. They were called the Green Eye Bandits. They were very loyal to each other. People didn't like Robyn. They the fans said she was boring. I didn't
Okay.
think I didn't think she was boring, right? Like Robyn reminded me on Housewives like of a best friend of mine. Like I felt like in real life, Robyn could be one of my best friends. Like she just is like down to earth. She doesn't give, she's a housewife, doesn't give that she's like an NBA ex-wife. Like she just seemed very down to earth. She caught a lot of heat on Housewives because there was this cheating scandal with her husband Juan, and they had gotten engaged because they were divorced, still living together in the house, in a townhouse, 2-bedroom townhouse while they was on
Okay.
Housewives. Okay, so the money was still a little low. Then the housewife's checks kind of came up, and so they relocated. Juan proposed to her on maybe like the 3rd season, and from like season 3 to season 7, everyone was like, well, where's the wedding? Like, what's going on? Where's the wedding? Y'all been engaged for a long time. And one of the reasons why I liked Robyn was there were some potential cheating rumors going around, and there was like maybe this woman that came forth and said that she met Juan on the DMs. She flew to Maryland, and Juan put his credit card down on the hotel. Now Juan says that he was friends with her online. She flew into town for somebody, and she happened to call him and say, hey, my credit card is not working and I need help. So Juan, being the good Samaritan that he is, he went over to the hotel and put his credit card down. Now, that's the story that Juan told us. And coincidentally, that is the story that Robyn told us. Now, does that make sense to you, Pooya?
I'm just trying to fathom. Right as you were explaining this, I went through my Rolodex of friends. I'm like, which friend would I go out of my way to drop my credit card down for?
Well,
And
I don't even think you can go on the Rolodex of your friends, because this wouldn't really be a friend. This is somebody that's messaging you on the Instagram.
right, it's like a DM request.
Right.
I don't know about all that, Brice. I don't know if I'm buying this.
Yeah. And none of the ladies on the Housewives bought it. However, this is what Juan told us, and this is also what Robyn told us. And I say that to say Robyn is loyal to the soil. So
Mhm.
Juan said it, she believed it. And so there was all of this background noise going on. And a part of why Robyn kind of was let go from the Housewives was she didn't bring it up. It wasn't until someone else brought it up that Robyn was like, well, I was waiting for somebody to bring it up, to talk about it, because like, why would I put my own personal business out there? Now, this is where it gets sticky. So it came out. Robyn has a podcast called Reasonably Shady with
Okay.
Giselle that's on her show with her. They have a Patreon. They did a Patreon episode getting into the nitty gritty of all of the alleged receipts about this. And so Bravo and the fans had an issue with it. Like, how you not going to give this story to us on Bravo, but you giving it to your Patreon? Now, Robyn says, yeah, this is a reality show, but this is my real life. So why would I intentionally go out of my way to bring this up? Like, I was with Robyn on that. Like, if I'm in a relationship and like it's just going down, I'm not going to volunteer this information. And so a lot of the women kind of felt like Robyn was like, oh, you'll talk about anybody else, you're deflecting. But like, no, if it's not out there, I'm not going to put that out there. And so again, all of these attributes I say, Robyn is loyal to the soil. Also, there was a couple of times on the Housewives where there was a housewife named Monique Samuels. I didn't like Monique at the time, Pooya.
Okay.
However, in hindsight, I do miss a Monique, what she brings to the show. So apologies, Monique. However, her and Robyn got into it a little bit, and Robyn very much gives, if you nuck, we can buck. Right? Like,
Mm.
Robyn is very like in your face at times. And so Robyn has fight in her. So I am very much so hoping that we see a little something from a Robyn. I could potentially see a Robyn and Dorinda getting into it, because Dorinda plays nice, but also Dorinda a little crazy. So you just
Mm.
never know. But we really love a Robyn. She's an entrepreneur. During the times that they were on Housewives, again, first couple of seasons, Pooya, they was in like a 2-bedroom townhouse. Like, all the
Yeah.
other women had these elaborate houses. Like, they literally lost all of their money. And then Robyn became the sole breadwinner in the home. Then she started a hat business called Embezzled. Maybe not Embezzled.
Great branding.
Wait, it's Embellish.
Okay.
Embellish is the name of her hat line. And for people of color, it has a silk lining. And sometimes with us that have coarse hair, sometimes hats can take the moisture out of your head. So it has a silk lining. We love that for her. And then she has this podcast that's on iHeartRadio. I think it was like maybe like number 1 or number 2 at its peak. But Robyn is loyal to the soil. She's definitely a boy mom. She's got 2 sons, Corey and Carter. They're basketball kids. They look just like they dad, Juan. But Robyn is going to be great on here. I just know it, because she's down to earth. She's real. She knows what it's like to be good at times. She knows what it's like not to be good. And she gonna nuck if she buck. And so it's great. I actually met Robyn before.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a little personal touch to this. And so I am rooting for Robyn, although, you have my winner of Survivor, Tony, on this season. So, of course, I've got to root for Kagian, but I really want Robyn to kill it. I think that she just will really be great at it. I just hope that, I fear though, right? Because sometimes Robyn can be shy. Sometimes she cannot, she'll play the background. And I don't want her to play the background. Like, I want her to make the most of it. We've seen Phaedra, right? We've seen a
Mhm.
housewife that is no longer on the franchise kind of come on the Traitors and blow up. And so I would really love Robyn to show the ladies of Potomac and Bravo what y'all really missing out on.
Okay, so there's a lot for me to unpack here, Bryce. You are, first of all, a great storyteller. You already know this. So earlier in this conversation, you mentioned that a lot of people were like, Robyn boring. I find Robyn to be boring. None of what you just told me is giving me boring at all. This is compelling stuff. So what was it about her on the show that made people feel like she boring? Is it because she kept all the like personal, quote unquote, juicy stuff off of the show?
That's part of it. She also, I mentioned the Green Eyed Bandits. So her and
Mhm.
Giselle were like a tag team duo. So they always supported each other. They always had each other's back. And so a lot of people don't like Giselle. More people liked Robyn than Giselle. However, Robyn, loyal, 10 toes down with Giselle. So they kind of felt like you're just always doing what Giselle says and does, which isn't true, but she kind of got lumped in with Giselle. Also, Robyn had run-ins with the Grand Dame on Potomac, which is Karen Huger. Karen Huger is, I would say, what Phaedra was to Atlanta is what
Mhm.
Karen Huger is. She's a
Okay.
shade assassin, right? Like, Robyn isn't as quick-witted as Karen is. Karen is the oldest housewife. However, she looks great. And so Robyn and Karen butted heads a lot of the time. And although I'm a Robyn stan, Karen would devour her for most of the time. Like, Karen would eat her up. Like, they would be talking about something and Karen would be like, you need to be worrying about Juan and not me. And then on the season where this alleged mistress hotel situation was going on, Karen knew about it. Karen was kind of the one that brought it to the group, and
Mhm.
Karen described the woman to look like Karen. And then Karen also said that Juan liked her. So it was just like Karen would take digs at Robyn all the time, and Robyn will return fire, but they just weren't as deadly as a Karen. But again, Robyn was great because Robyn got along with all of the girls except really Karen for the majority of it. And when she had disagreements with a lot of the women, it would partly be due to her affiliation with Giselle. So I guess we could say Robyn is loyal to a fault.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe I'm getting with everything you're saying. The protecting her husband and always being on a team with Giselle, which I think what I want to talk about now is this quick-wittedness or lack thereof, because you did mention she's going to stand on business if someone's bothering her, if someone comes at her, which we see happen on the Traitors a lot. So if someone's going to accuse her, I don't think she's going to stand down. But what I want to know is, who is someone you think she'll go toe to toe with, but wouldn't be able to deliver from this cast, for example?
Bob the drag queen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
However, I see Robyn aligning with a Bob the drag queen, right?
Okay.
So I don't see them at odds. But for instance, like I talked about Dorinda Medley, right? I'm sure you don't really watch Housewives of New York or when she was on it. But listen, when Dorinda would during the day, Dorinda nice.
Okay.
Let Dorinda get 2 dirty martinis in her. Dorinda can clear a okay, like Dorinda has a switch, and
Hmm.
I don't know. going back and forth. I don't know how a Robyn would stand up to a Dorinda. And it's not so much that Robyn can't stand up, right? It's like Robyn is one of those people where you go back and forth and not like she'll stutter, but she'll just like, back when we're kids, if you're like, oh, somebody be like, that's why your shoes is ugly. And then somebody be like, your mom's ugly. Like Robyn is kind of like, your mom's ugly. Like
I
she just kind of
see.
has those like, and it's like, girl, come on. But push come to shove, Robyn can stand her own.
Okay. And that's definitely the energy I'm getting. Brice, you are very well known for the first looks at the pictures for the cast of Survivor. Can you run us through the picture we're seeing to the right here of Robyn, of the framed photos they've done this season?
Robyn is giving us direct eye contact. I don't see any thumbs. Very open, very strong pose, business casual, hair down. Like this, I mean, I don't know if this is a winner pose because I got to see the others, but this is absolutely a strong pose. We're not seeing a thumbs. And, for me, thumbs are like if you're playing poker, we can see your cards. We can't see Robyn's cards here because we don't see her thumbs. So I feel like she'll be able to, if she is a traitor, be able to disguise it really, really well. But I also feel like she's going to be a great faithful because, well, I want to say that if somebody tells her a story, she'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
However, I don't, history hasn't always been the greatest thing for Robyn. But again, when I just say like Robyn is a down person. And so for me, it's like she's going to connect with people really well. And so that's what I'm banking on with Robyn. But this is a very strong pose, direct, forward, looking right at us, strong hands, one hand over the picture frame, chilling, like, what's up? Other hand holding it, which is like, nuck if you buck. So it's like this photo gives me very much Robyn.
So you've mentioned now that Robyn's someone who can figure it out, but also you could see being a good traitor if she's put in that role. What kind of faithful do you think ultimately Robyn would be? Do you think she's going to be like the detective out in front trying to figure people out? Or do you think she's going to be doing that detective work more in the shadows and quietly?
I think Robyn's going to be a hybrid, right? I
Okay.
think that she will more than likely start off quiet, right? Which we all kind of sort of hate. It's like we don't not entertaining. However, let Robyn get a whiff, a hint, a sniff of something. She's going to be directly asking up front, forward. Like she's not shy. By no means is Robyn shy. So it's like she absolutely can be direct. And so I think that she'll be a bit of both, but let her get some concrete evidence or let something not make sense. Robyn's going right at him.
Who do you think from this cast Robyn is going to gel the most with? Now, obviously, I feel like a lot of people on instinct would say Dorinda because they're both housewives from the franchise, different franchises, granted. But you have already mentioned that those two could clash. So who do you think Robyn could work with?
Let me see. Hold on, because I don't remember all of the people. Do we have a cast photo?
It's fair. It's a whole lot of people. We'll get Sam on it. Sam will cook it up.
Hold on. Let me see if I could find this for us. Because this season 3, because this is a pretty good cast, season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So also Robyn is a guy's girl. So I could see a world where she is going to click up, could be friendly with Jeremy. I also could see a Boston Rob in the sense of like she's a mom, she's got
Mm-hmm.
kids, they've got kids, they're together. I don't know how Robyn and the Tony will be because the Tony that I know is chaotic, and I don't know how much Robyn is going to want to deal with that. I want to say my heart of hearts wants her and Carolyn to get along, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Does Robyn typically like if someone's got a lot of personality, is probably like more in charge of a room, louder in the room, is that someone that Robyn will gravitate towards or kind of judge on the side?
Depends on what they saying, right?
Mm.
Because in Potomac, we had this, she was on season 1, her name was Katie. She didn't come back for season 2, and then Katie kind of like downward spiral. They brought Katie back as a friend of the show a couple of times, and Katie was very much chaotic, and and just a mess. And Robyn supported Katie a lot, and so Robyn wasn't against her, but Katie wasn't against Robyn, right? But I do feel like if you say something crazy to Robyn, like she's gonna be looking at you sideways. And also, I don't think that she's gonna like the main people that are out and about getting attention. I think she's gonna be on to the side talking a little ish. Like I don't know what's up with Pooya. He doing too much.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Robyn would definitely find me a little sketchy.
Uh, she will absolutely like a Dolores. I know Big Brother Danielle, they'll click up with immediately. They got that on lock. Isn't the housewife from Dubai on here? Yeah. I don't know how she gonna get along with Chanel from the Housewives of Dubai, because Chanel's a lot. Yeah, this is gonna be a good. I can't wait for this season. This is gonna be so good. But for sure, she will definitely, I'm calling it. She will get along with Dolores and Danielle from Big Brother.
Okay. And then who do you think she's most likely to clash with?
Depending on what Tony we get, I could see Tony. Depending on how she meets Carolyn, I could see potential clash. I could see some of these people are. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know. I'm like Bob the drag queen. Did you see that interview with Bob the drag queen when Bob the drag queen was like, I know reality TV and I know a lot of things. Bob was like, when I got there, he was like, I didn't know who any of these people were. Which also, don't play on Dorinda, don't play on Dolores, don't play on Danielle, Bob. But I could see Robyn and Chanel not getting along because she's a lot at times.
Which would be very interesting to me because, especially last season being the reference point, we saw a lot of the Bravo Lebs kind of band together almost on a silent thing of like, we're not going to get rid of each other here. That's not going to happen. So I wonder if these personalities they put together can't make that work, or they're a little bit too much personality and they're going to clash.
The loyal ones are Robyn and Dolores, right? Like they're like Dolores on New Jersey. That's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal. Dorinda is loyal. However, Dorinda has that switch, and that switch gets turned on a lot. And so, Dorinda has a book called Make It Nice, right? So the thing about Dorinda is she'll fight with you today, and then tomorrow, good morning, Pooya. How you doing? So you just never really know. But I didn't really watch Housewives of Dubai, and after now, I don't think anyone will because it did get canceled. But I know that Chanel was just saying. I know that Chanel was a lot. I've seen her at
Yes.
Bravo Cons and I've seen clips. She's a lot. And she's a shade assassin. She's another one that I fear for, that I hope her and Robyn get along, because I feel like, I feel like maybe in that argument, Robyn might be able to take Chanel. So I don't worry about that. But I hope that Robyn connects with Bob the drag queen, though, because that's
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would love that quite a bit. Yeah, what's funny with Chanel is that when we did a whole like cast preview right as the cast had dropped. I watched a clip compilation. Chanel's gonna come in being like, I am the queen and you are all peasants. And I just don't know how that is going to feel. First, how people are gonna take that.
Dorinda ain't gonna like it. And then I already know Chanel gonna tell Dorinda she was fired, and Dorinda gonna be like, I'm on pause. Andy put me on pause. And so I could for sure see First of all, Dorinda is going to be great on this. You don't know the greatness of Dorinda. I know I'm here to talk about Robyn, Pooya, but listen, Dorinda medley, TV gold. TV gold. When you are watching and recapping this, when you see Dorinda do the Dorinda, just say Brice said she has a switch, because we are for sure going to see the switch in Dorinda. Maybe even the
Yeah.
first episode.
Yeah. That's what I was talking to Maggie, and Maggie was like, what's the bar situation like there? Is it like Big Brother style? It's like a one drink? I was like, no, I think it's open. She's like, that's not good for Dorinda. So that's what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. And we're gonna see it for sure.
Oh, we have to see it. Maggie knows her girl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we love Robyn. Sam, can we see what I want to show Pooya? I brought receipts, Pooya.
You brought receipts.
I brought receipts.
And not on behind the Patreon either. In the main.
Hey, Pooya, not too much. This our first time, Pooya, not too much on my girl.
I'll take the rest of the receipts off the air. You got it.
But yes, I had the opportunity to meet my girls. And yeah, Robyn gonna kill it. I just know it. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what happens.
You got me properly hyped on her. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm genuinely, and I think this is one of the great things about doing this project is that I feel like I'm gonna leave here having an appreciation for everybody on the cast, whereas the last couple of seasons I'm coming in very unknown on these people, so I'm kind of like meh. But I think it's better for me to be more invested in most of the cast, and I think you've done more than just make me feel a little bit invested here. Like I'm actually like I'm gonna be mad now if Robyn doesn't make it at least a little bit far, so I can get to see all the greatness that you see.
Yeah, she will. And it's like, if we're talking Survivor, right, her threat level is going to be very low, right? Because she's just not a flashy by nature person. She, again, humble, very much like homegirl, next door neighbor. So I just know from that alone, she's going to be able to make waves. I just hope that when it's time for Robyn to turn up, when her name is on the chopping block, I wish Juan Dixon was here right now, because that was another thing. Juan Dixon didn't come to the reunions a lot, and so people would be talking ish about Juan, and she would be like, "You're lucky Juan Dixon is not here." So I hope that Robyn pops one out when need be. But
she full names him?
Well, just because it was a heated moment, and so she was just like, mind you, people were just like, "Girl, you're saying you're lucky Juan Dixon isn't here," and they like, well, when is Juan Dixon here?
Right.
Because he don't be. But we love Juan Dixon. We love Robyn. And I just know Robyn's going to kill it.
Yeah. To me, the only thing that looks to be a threat to her time in the manor is if some of these other people look at people as numbers and they're like, all right, there's 4 housewives here. That can't be a thing. One's got to go. And then maybe she ends up being the one. But I still have a feeling low-key that Chanel might be the one based on, depending on who says what and how they say it, and depending on how later the drinks get involved. I think she should be safe to hide in the shadows for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think that this housewife group is going to be as cohesive as what we saw last season, just off of the personalities that I see. But I'm guaranteeing you, Dolores and Robyn, they will be a thing.
Okay, Dolores and Robyn will be a thing. Well, we'll find out if your prediction rings true, Brice. This has been such a treat. I hope that by the time you leave this podcast, you're like, you know what? Me and Pooya need to be on a podcast more, and then something happens. So fingers are crossed for me.
Listen, this is the receipt right now. I'm saving this receipt, Pooya.
I appreciate that. Please do. Well, Brice, let the people know where they can find you, what projects you have going on as we get to this Traitors Season 3 coming January 9th.
Yes, the new year, the Purple Pants podcast is kicking out all new things. So Brice Izyah, Instagram, Blue Sky, and keep up with the Purple Pants podcast. We are doing a lot of things in the new year, and I'm excited.
I love to hear it. Of course, y'all can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter at Pooyaism. Find me on twitch.tv/Pooya. That's where I am when I'm not podcasting. I'm still going to have 90 Day Fiance going on. The Hot Mess Express waits for nobody, and we're keep on chugging. And obviously, as we get to the Traitors season, not only is there a brand new season 3 of US coming January 9th, Traitors UK is hitting us with a season 3 January 1st. So you know I'm going to be covering both back to back, side by side, doing it all. Annabelle will be joining me for the UK once again. And of course, Rob will be here on the journey with Traitors US season 3. We hope you had fun here with us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another castmate to preview. But until then, take care. Have a good one. Bye.